yet, which is very freaky and very cool. You guys must have high intention. Replay, replay, replay. Man, that session last week, huh? Intention. Questions to move it. Anybody noticing anything different since that session? Yeah? Go, I'll unmute you, Kate. Since you guys are always kicked back there, I'll unmute you. Talk to me.
Effortless movement in a number of things that I won't go on and on about, but just all of the sudden effortless movement in things that hadn't seemed to move until now or just recently. So, woohoo.
Awesome. Awesome. I'll take that.
Yes.
Hey. Okay, now I'm going to reflect on that. Is anyone else either noticing effortless movement or not noticing effortless movement? Anybody? Either noticing effortless movement or not? You have to raise your hand. Because you kind of are or you're not. Okay. So I'm going to tell you the irony of this weird shit that we're doing. We're at the next level of potential awareness here. These last two sessions, and I kind of got the feeling there's probably going to be some spell breaking going on today. I came to this last couple of days feeling that. We didn't do any first two sessions, unheard of. I mean, yeah, there was some, but not like, the conventional stuff, right? So check this out. Here's the irony and the magic that I see for people who step off the couch and dare to do anything other than visit the refrigerator, which can have its own fruits and outcomes, right? Some of you know what I'm talking about. Okay. When this infinite, unlimited, eternal being, projecting out of eternity into time and space, disguised as me, looks out and says, what would I like to experience? Ooh, I'm going to make a note for myself right here. I want to make sure I touch on this briefly today. When we do, after, say, age, I could literally say almost any number. Let's just say after age 25, 30, when we consider ourselves to be adults. Doesn't matter now, 30, 40, 50, 60. One of us on this session here, we say, I want to go after what I want to experience. Do you realize first and fundamentally that it's almost a guarantee that that's going to be something that you've been avoiding? Do you realize that? It's kind of implicit. If we're choosing to be conscious, like, wait, that means I ain't been experiencing it. Now, we might get an idea. I want to go experience skydiving, and I've never even thought about it before. That's possible. There could be a few of those. But most of it, no. Most of when we say, I am going to finally go after what I do want to experience. Is everybody 100% present? Everybody tuned in? No multitasking on this one. When we do choose to go after what we want to experience, finally, there's a couple of things that we can deduce are probably true in almost every case. One is something we ain't been doing. Number two is probably something we've been avoiding. And three, it's probably something that we got some beliefs, some knowings, things we know, some emotions, and some traumatic spell type stuff tangled around. Now, see, that's what nobody tells us. When we buy that course that tells us it's going to solve our problem, buy this, open the plastic package, and you're done. You're free. You have what you want. They don't tell us Well, we're going to tell you what actually worked for me, the one who made the product, the course, the training. It worked for me. And I didn't have those fucking spells you have. So then you buy the package, you buy the training, you buy the course, you open it up, you start, those of you who actually do open the course, which is in the minority anyway, but you open the course. And then you step into the tiny minority by actually taking step 1 of 473 or 10 or whatever. You are going to come face to face with everything you place between yourself and that. Now, I got to tell you, I don't know nothing, and I don't want to know nothing. And sometimes I almost wish that I didn't know what I'm saying right now, because maybe there's the possibility that the fact that I think I know it is causing it. Maybe. I want to practice what I preach here. However, I've been watching, I've been listening, and I've been seeing what I consider very near to universal. Somebody steps in the direction of what they want to experience, they come face to face with everything they put between themselves and that. Now, it almost seems kind of inevitable, and I definitely accept the possibility because of miracles. I accept the possibility because of miracles that can be leapt over. Abso-freaking-lutely. Can be. However, so far, I've been amazed at the evidence, even while keeping an open mind to miracles at all times. I've been amazed at how consistent it has been that we, us, come face to face with what we put between ourselves and that. It's almost like that. Maybe that's part of how we designed time and space, to make it so that we would have to face those things. And the reality that those things are us gives us a potential clue. You guys with me? Relevant? Making sense? Everything? Okay. So here we are, infinite, unlimited being, projecting out of eternity into time and space. The whole universe that it projects is itself. I am that. Boom, done. Then why is it so fucking hard? Why does that topic hurt? And why do I always get blank when I blank? Apparently it's because of what we think we know, and apparently we must undo what we think we know in order to step into those areas, whether it happens through an instantaneous miracle or, much more often for the vast majority of us, facing, walking through, and moving through the stuff that we place between ourselves and that. And then if you go back to my book and the fundamentals that I talk about in there, infinite, unlimited being, projecting out of eternity into time and space. If you're the toughest gunslinger in town and you go to the saloon and you're able to carry your gun in, there's a fairly good chance, and you go in there serious about ready to drink, fair good chance everybody's going to leave dead, which actually means nobody leaves the bar, right? Very bad for bar business. So they say you got to leave your gun at the door so that you don't go in with that advantage and use it in the bar, right? Well, when you project out of eternity into time and space with all your infinite power, you can't play the game of limitation. You gotta hide your infinite power somewhere. So where do you hide it? The only place you won't fucking look. Everything that you hate and fear and dislike and judge. That's the only place you could put it, really. And it's so interesting that I know it's a crazy thing that when I say that, and it's a crazy thing when people go, God, that actually makes some weird fucking sense. I'm as crazy as he is, you know? And then you perceive, wait, that has been true up until now, because they say when you face your fears and move through them, you find the only thing there was to fear was fear itself. And have you ever noticed that when you go through your fear of X, from that moment forward, you go through life without fear of X? You ever notice that? And did you know that when you go through life when you go through fear of X, and now you don't have fear of X, what you just did was you turned your fear of X back into infinite possibilities within yourself on that topic. Oh my goodness, there's a clue. What would happen if suddenly we could push the magic button, That's the magic button, right? Yeah, because I said it is. If we touch the magic button, and in the moment that we touch the magic button, all of our fear completely disappeared. Wouldn't it be simultaneously true, or simultaneously true, whichever you prefer? Wouldn't it be simultaneously true that in the moment, I'm so glad to be able to contribute to your amusement. Wouldn't it be true that if we could push the magic button and have all of our fears disappear, that we would suddenly be much more powerful and confident and clear? Then is it possible that that fear is actually, in a way, just the confidence and certainty and power and clarity that we have cut off from ourselves? Holy shit. Wait a minute now. Oh, damn. Do the math. Do the math. If I cash in all my fear chips at the bank of emotional transference, I say, I'd like to trade these fear chips for confidence and certainty. Then suddenly wait. Now, hang on. This is I saw a couple of you guys already kind of go, and a couple of people went, okay, when you watch the replay, just watch the faces on that part. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. If I face my fear and I move through it and I'm on the other side of that fear, I feel more confident and certain. Where the fuck did the confidence and certainty come from? Might it be the fear changed into confidence and certainty and space and possibility? Oh, damn. Might be. I'm not making any claims. What about all the things I hate? Aren't those just the parts of myself that I stopped loving? Who? So I made this post a couple of days ago about how there's no victims. I ain't joining the Me Too. And oh my God, the fucking teeth and claws that came out at me. Holy shit. I almost wanted to delete my post. What I'm choosing to do instead is to breathe through it. Personal attacks? Yeah, towards me, yeah. Wonderful. An opportunity for me to feel something I must have been avoiding, because if I notice those personal attacks and I feel any anger, sadness, or fear arise, that's what I was asking for. Ready to move through that too. You know, when you go through life, okay, I'm modeling something. Everybody breathe and set your intention right now, if you will. What Brian is about to say might not instantaneously or immediately, I might not instantly identify completely with it. I'm willing to interpolate, and extrapolate and allow myself to absorb what it is about it that's relevant for me, okay? When one steps out and says, hey, everybody, you're actually free. People that want to be slaves get pissed off. When you tell people there's no such thing as disease, people whose identity hinges on telling their friends what the doctor said this week get pissed off and offended. So I am focusing my energies on sharing this with people who want it and inviting those who want it. And the minute there's an invitation to those who want it, there's the opportunity for those who don't to get pissed off. So you know what most of us do? We go back to seeking approval. Let me not say anything that might rile anyone up. Okay. I've been having a lot of conversations around network marketing and with network marketers as I'm doing a program this is for network marketers. And, you know, it's a really huge opportunity for people to face their shit, because in order to step out and say you have something, you have to overcome your fear of wanting something. Really close friend of mine, someone I'm really close to and really love, I pointed something out to her and she just freaked out. She was like, you're trying to make me stop the company that I'm working with. And she ended up crying and freaking out. And later she apologized, but she was like, wow, I perceive that you were telling me that the opportunity that I'm with is bad and I shouldn't be doing it. Okay. You perceive that. Thank you. That's cool. No, nobody in this group. Somebody I've been close friends with for many years. Now that I just look at that and I say, what a gift to me to be able to observe that. Someone that I can be that close to, who can snap that far, that fast, that completely over the most, to me, microscopic perception that actually revealed one of her deepest fears. Listen, guys, we're not gonna get anywhere. If we were to sit right now, and some of us have, no, all of us have been doing this to some extent. If you don't like it, don't wear it. All of us have been doing it to some extent, depending on who we are and what we're doing. Okay, we've been doing our best to never trigger anybody's landmines. And most of us have at least one person in our life that we're really seriously good at not triggering their landmines. You guys know what I'm talking about? Anybody? You know, you can't dance very well when 95% of your energies are focused in not stepping on anybody's feelings about anything. And I'm telling you, that's what most of us are doing. Most of the time, much of the time. And there's a couple people in most of our lives, one or two people, that we're doing it so much we don't even know we're fucking doing it. Well, come on, you guys. You know, we don't want to piss daddy off. We don't talk about that topic. Well, I know if I bring up this thing that I want, I know he's going to frown, and he's, you know, I've already caught on. There's our tacit consent stuff. The stuff we unconsciously agree not to talk about or deal with. And then there's our tacit consent within ourself, which is at the center of what I started out talking about when I went off on all those tangents that are totally related to this central point, which is you're going for what you want while trying to avoid your own landmines takes you very quickly back to the couch. Well, maybe I'll try that again in another 20 or 30 years. Huh? You ever notice when you step out into doing something that you've been wanting to do for a long time and you haven't done it for a long time, you step out into doing it, you find out real quick why you quit doing that shit in the first place? Think about that. Now think about what I just said, because I'm having fun. I'm making it very light. And I want you to really allow yourself to truly let the significance of this sink in, because it can be a massive turning point and pivot for you to change if you're ready, if you want. Sometimes you go to start doing something, you ain't done. You always wanted to do it. You've been wanting to do it. You used to do it a little tiny bit and then you quit and you don't remember why. But you start doing it. You're like, I'm going to go for this thing. Oh, fuck, I remember why I quit doing this thing. Feels bad when they frown at me. They reject me. They say things about me or whatever. See those smiles? You see those smiles? You know who knows what I'm talking about. I'm not advocating not doing what you want to do. I'm advocating do what it is that you want to do so that you can rapidly come face to face with that which you've been avoiding so you can transcend it and step into your power. But Brian, it's not going to feel good. Not true. You are going to either feel anger, sadness, or fear, but it ain't got no feelings. And it don't make you feel nothing. Ain't how it works. You know that you're going to feel anger, sadness, or fear because on some level you remember what happened the last 32 times you started to move in this direction 30 years ago before you learned that it hurts to go in this direction. So, who has something that they want to? Why do I feel like I'm almost positive about who it's going to be? Who would like some help with something? Alrighty then. Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, put your hands together for a warm spell break welcome for Rosemary. Yay. What you got, sis?
So that there's 2 days.
Rosemary, hang on. Just one second, honey. Hey, I noticed on our earlier call, I noticed your signal is not quite what it usually is. So are you close to your router? You are. All right. With it. Oh shit. I'm gonna chat with you. Hang on.
All right. I can go start my other computer.
I think that it might need that or to restart your internet. And in order for me to do this, it'll probably be faster for you to reset your internet or change computers than for us to try to do this because I'm not going to be able to hear you.
Okay.
All right, everybody just breathe. Everybody breathe. I have a suspicion Rosemary's about to help us all. Everybody breathing? Lou, my brother, I got a feeling, man. I had a feeling about this for the last 2 days. You've been very quiet, and I'm tuned in. I could feel your energy. The first time you messaged, you said, "You know what? If there's space, I feel like I'm in." I've been tuned into you somehow since that moment, and I had a strong sense that today's session was going to somehow be really beneficial for you specifically. Not that it's not for everybody. Just something for you. So you feel free to chime in at any point, okay? All right, Rosemary, let's see what we be got now. All right.
Okay, can you hear me now, Brian?
Much better. Your video's
Yeah.
smoother and everything. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Love
Great.
it.
Okay. So the one that the one that feels the most important to me is the one that just came up when we were talking about the reason that we pre-qualify people in our minds, or we're afraid to share our opportunity with them, or we worry about them being able to afford it, being about not wanting our parents' disapproval, and that fear that we're going to be in trouble again because we're asking for something that we want. That one really hit me emotionally this afternoon.
Okay. All right. So everybody breathing? Everybody's 100% tuned in? So let's slow down and deepen your breathing, Rosemary. I can see this is bringing something up, and that's a beautiful thing. I'm very grateful for it. And just noticing, does everybody notices her energy's in that kind of like tightened, pulled up place, right? That's a beautiful indication. So this is bringing up something. Okay, now, Rosemary, for your benefit as well as for everyone else's, I'm going to start, well, obviously by encouraging you to breathe. And I want to highlight, you know what? I've got an experiment for everybody. Let me see. How do I pull this off? I don't know how to quite, I don't remember in this moment how to make time go backwards. All right. So I got it. I'm going to say what I'm about to say. And you're all going to hear it now. However, I want to encourage you, when you are watching this replay, as you're watching this replay, if you'll stop the video right now and then go back and hear everything she just said. And those of you that are pretty familiar with my approach, I want you to listen, especially you, Rosemary, to every word that you said, which indicates that Rosemary's not here right now and that the one who feels triggered is. All right? And this is a beautiful, important thing. It's a beautiful, important thing. This happens with all of us. In a way, you could say that the definition of being triggered means you just fucking left, and the one who is inside of you that gets triggered on this topic has stepped in and taken over. I'm not exactly talking about schizophrenia, although we're all everybody. We're all infinitely schizophrenic in that level, and somewhat simultaneously, you could effectively say we're all full of inner children who are stuck on the topics that they haven't resolved within themselves, where there's frozen emotional intensity. So to each of you, I say, become even more present. Each of you, 100%, totally, completely. Become totally present. Breathe. Tune in. This topic with Rosemary is mine. I propose that it's yours. There's a couple of you right now. I could say your names. I feel a little pointed out to them. I feel more to say. You pay attention. Pay attention. Dig in deep. And if you feel in any way, well, I don't really relate, this might not be, there's your indication right there. This is for you. So be totally, completely present to this, and don't let the topic or the specifics sway you for 1 millisecond. All right. So Rosemary, just to highlight a couple of the statements. Hit me. This hit me. Said that one a couple of times. It's hit me. Hit me hard. Hit me deep. Somebody else on the earlier meeting was referring to that too. That one hit me deep. few other words to look back at from the minute you started. So what she's referring to, we were on a call related to sharing valuable, beneficial products, opportunities, and like most people think this has to do with business, but there's no such thing as business. There's only infinite, unlimited beings sharing information in order to have an exchange of value. It's that simple. And we overcomplicate. Like I would say that 99% of the actions, efforts, and words that most of us take are desperate, frantic, needless overcomplication to avoid us getting what we actually want because we're afraid we would get punished for it. So, Rosemary, when I brought that up, what I was saying was all these people that were expressing their fear of sharing what they have and a fear of expressing what's in it for them. Because I've talked about this selfish and selfless, right? More than once. Afraid of offering what they have because the other person might not be able to afford it. Afraid to express their opportunity because someone else might not like it, might judge them, might not be able to buy it, might have thoughts about. And afraid to express up front what's in it for them. Now, you ain't got to be involved in network marketing for those three things to be very relevant to you. Have you ever been in a conversation with another person? Breathing deep, totally present. Yes? Say yes. Say yes, you guys.
Yes.
It's important. This interaction is for you. Okay? Yes, you have had a conversation with another person. Have you ever hesitated to offer anything to anyone that you could have and might have wanted to? Anyone? Yes? Okay. Anyone here ever engaged in any of what we might call business? Okay. Do we all accept that business involves sales? Do we all get that business involves sales? Okay. So we're all accepting that we're in sales to some extent. We all are. In some way, to some extent, we're all in sales. Anybody ever feel unpleasantness towards salespeople? Anybody? Then I guarantee you're not succeeding at sales the way you could. Guaranteed. Now, you might not ever think part of the reason, if not the primary reason, that I'm not succeeding in sales is because I don't like fucking salespeople. But how could it be otherwise? I fucking hate salespeople. Now I'm going to go sell someone. Good ruck. Okay. So I got down to how, and Rosemary can relate. You breathing, Rosemary? Nice and deep. Nice and deep. This has the potential to be such a monumental turning point for you. So here I've got this thing. Me and Davey are going to do this cleanse, and we've invited people who want to. We didn't say, you should do a cleanse. We invited people that want to. We talked about some reasons why they might want to. Invited some people, and some people said yes. Now, I personally was a little bit shocked, surprised, when I discovered that the total investment to do this 40-day cleanse, like at the high level, is like $500 something bucks. Like, damn, wow, I'm surprised. I didn't let that hinder me from sharing it with anybody. Someone's willingness to allow themselves to afford it. Notice that I didn't say someone's ability to afford it. I didn't say that. They're saying that to themselves. I ain't saying it. Yeah, but Brian, we don't have the money to do it. You're fucking relevant. That doesn't mean you can't afford it. It means you're not letting yourself afford it. Period. End of fucking story. So what if I were to share that and not care whether they can afford it or not? What if I didn't allow myself to even think whether they can afford it or not? I just offered it, and suddenly they got so inspired, they allowed the money in. But no, I don't want to hurt their feelings, so I'm not going to. The truth is, though, what we've been hiding from ourselves is 99.99999% of the time, we're actually not worried about their feelings. We're worried about ours. Unconsciously. And what I shared was, we're actually afraid to speak about something that might cost more than mommy and daddy can afford, because when we did, they yelled at us. They might even have criticized us. Oh, breathe, everybody. So, Rosemary, close your eyes, honey, if you will. You're getting ready to tell somebody, you know what? They've already said, I'm interested in, I'm working very specifically with her. Everybody, I invite you to change these words to suit whatever you're sharing, okay? So, Rosemary, you're going to tell this person, you know what? I hear that you are concerned about GMOs and pesticides. You'd like to reduce those. I understand you don't like the excess weight on your body, and I understand that you're very interested in not only cleansing your body, also actually taking another step to your own financial destiny, taking it in your hands. And you like the idea, you told me, of joining a business, taking an action that will enable you to cleanse toxins and pesticides out of your body, help your family to do so, affect the planet in the way that you want, creating the planet you want to live in, and you're interested in making money at it. And now you're at that moment of telling them how much it is to do so. Feel what you feel. Feel everything you feel. And let yourself feel that in your throat. Sometimes we say, oh, I get tongue-tied when I'm about to share something.
Yeah, like my throat feels like it wants to, it is closing over.
Yeah, feel that. So now breathe right through that space and go straight inside, touch your throat. Feel the place where it's like the clearest. As you move your fingers around your throat on the outside of your throat, you're going to feel there's one place that if you touch there, it's really sharp and intense. Now, we're not trying to poke our fingers through the back of our throat. We're just touching it, right? Okay. So feel that physical sensation and breathe through it. Now, as you do that, I'm going to say a few phrases and just breathe. What I say doesn't matter that much. Not that much. What matters most is what you're feeling, the sensation that you're feeling. Emotions may arise and pass away. They don't matter that much. Thoughts and memories, even images of things from your past or future may arise and pass away. They don't matter that much. What matters is that you feel that physical sensation with absolutely every bit of awareness that you have. As you're giving total and complete awareness to the part of you, the aspect in you, the one of you who carries and has carried this fear up until now. Well, I don't want to say anything and offend anybody. Actually, what if actually I don't want to say this and get hurt? What if actually I didn't want to say this and get in trouble? What if I didn't want to say this and have them give me that scowl or that frown or raise their hand to me? What if that's actually what it was? What if? And by breathing this physical sensation, breathing right through it, what if I'm actually dissolving it without knowing exactly what it was? What if it was something other than what I thought? What if all this time, every time this arose, I had my unconscious and semi-conscious assumptions and thoughts and assessments about what it was, what it might be, most of it very below my conscious awareness? What if none of those were true? So as you feel that physical sensation, I'm going to invite you to stay physically focused, and please say out loud, if you will, don't think too much. It'll come out. If you were to voice the fear, I'm afraid that if I speak this blank, just finish the sentence.
My dad will yell at me.
Breathe right through that. Breathe so deep. And I'm going to add a word to that. I'm afraid my dad will yell at me again. I'm afraid my dad will yell. I'm afraid that if I make this offer and this invitation to this person who has said that they want it, I'm afraid my dad's going to yell at me again. I'm afraid I'm going to be in trouble. I'm afraid I'm going to be unloved. And if I'm unloved, I'm going to die. Breathe right through that. Yeah, breathe right through that. Feel that physical sensation with everything you got. And if tears come, let them flow. Beautiful. Oh, that one's been a long time waiting to be felt and visited. Thank you, Rosemary. Just breathe right through that. Let all the tears and let all the sounds come out with it. And it's compounded. Just focus on that physical sensation. It's compounded by, here I am years later, still not getting what I want and not sharing the way I want and not boldly expressing my truth without knowing why I wasn't doing it. I knew I wasn't doing what I wanted to do. I knew I wasn't sharing the way I was sharing. I knew I wasn't making money flow into my life the way I want, allowing it to show up. I know that I wasn't getting what I want, sharing what I want, speaking what I want, touching and expanding through people the way that I really want. And I didn't know why. And I felt so trapped and so scared and so limited. And what if this goes on? You know, I'm not 15 anymore. I'm not 18. I'm like moving through the years. Now I'm in no way old. I don't even know what old and young means. I do know that this body is only going to be playing this game for a certain amount of time longer, no matter how many days, weeks, hours, or years it is. And I don't perceive myself to be any closer to what I really want to experience in these areas. And I don't even know why. And I feel so sad about it and so frustrated about it. And now, just notice that the sadness and the frustration and that feeling in your throat is exactly the same feeling as the exact same feeling you felt about Dad yelling at you. No difference. You thought you were feeling upset about being a failure in business. You thought you were upset about being stuck in your social sharing. You thought you were feeling upset about not making the money you want, when the fact might be that maybe you were upset about Dad yelling at you the whole freaking time, maybe. And by feeling that physical sensation now and letting those emotions arise and move through you, you are, quote, healing the past in the present and completely freeing your future. Somebody once said to me, I'd love to make a lot more money, but I don't want all the drama and stress that comes with it. Just breathe. And this beautiful, brilliant, competent, capable person was sure that more money means more stress and more drama, because every time there was more money, they got more stress and more drama. It made sense, right? It made sense to decide that. And you decided that every time I get ready to share my truth, this fucking feeling comes up and chokes me. Made sense to you. You had tons of evidence to support it. What if it was true that every time you felt Dad about to yell at you, this feeling came up, and it didn't come up to choke you. It came up to be felt and loved. And moved through. And what if, in the same way that when I move through my fear unbecomes fear and once again becomes confidence? What if similarly, once I move through this choked feeling, for lack of a better word, once I move through it, the choked feeling becomes me expressing my beautiful, shining truth with passion and clarity and enthusiasm. What if there's about 800 billion energy units of passion and power and enthusiasm and sharing built up right under that throat, ready for you to have one big fucking burp? And then you just sing your song from this moment forward. What if? And it don't have to be an audible burp, if you know what I mean. Maybe you just feel that physical sensation until all the electrical charge in it diminishes, just as it is doing right now. Ooh, what if I was ready to speak my truth like never before? What if I was ready to make invitations to those who want it like never before? What if I was ready to say, what? You'd like more blank? If I had a way that you could experience more blank without those blanks that you don't want, would you want to hear about it? You would? Oh, that's party. Breathe so deep. So what's going on with that physical sensation now, Rosemary?
All gone.
All gone. All right. Now just keep breathing. You are about to do a Facebook Live. And you're going to go on. And you're going to say, would you like to be doing some effective Facebook Lives, sharing the awesomeness that's in your life?
Okay. For sure.
You ever seen anybody that you know, let's just be human here for a minute. You ever seen anybody that you thought or knew was a little bit less of a communicator than you, a little bit less skillful at beautifully expressing and professionally and effectively expressing their truth? You ever seen them going live while you sat fucking scared?
Sure.
Fucking A. How about them apples? Here's this fucking idiot over here, blah, 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 going live. And I could explain it 10 times better, 10 times more clear, and I'm sitting here fucking scared to death. Okay. So I'm going to say that you're about to go live, and here you are. You're sitting at the computer. You're about to hit the button, and you're going to share what you have by first finding out if your people that are listening are interested and curious. And then when you find out they are, you're going to tell them what they have. And let's just say that on this one call, you're actually going to go all the way to tell them, you're telling me these are things you're interested in. Here's what I've got. I'd like to invite you to take the next step and see how you feel.
Feels awesome.
Okay, now let's take that down inside. Take off the fucking T, because there's no it here to feel. And say it again without the T.
I feel awesome.
I feel awesome. Feel how awesome you actually feel. Feel how awesome you feel. All these people sitting and waiting Jesus Christ, I wish Rosemary would clear her throat and come tell us the awesomeness that she's got to share with us. I can't wait for her to just get off her ass, go puke, burp, or do that crazy spell break shit with Brian, whatever it is that'll get that feeling out so that she can come. We're sitting here waiting to hear it, for God's sake, and we want to hear it from her, and we're not going to hear it until she does it. Would you please move your ass, girl? Okay, so pick another area in life where there is some similar feeling of not, you ain't quite done it, and you ain't felt good when you thought about it, but you also didn't like not moving. What would be maybe very closely related, maybe very similar? What else have you not been speaking your truth about that you want to?
My own coaching and my own business.
Exactly. Now you're going to find out in a minute there's actually no distinction here, and the blend of these two things is obviously so miraculous. So let's look at the coaching thing. And when is like the last time that you hesitated and didn't like the fact that you hesitated? Just bring that up and see how you feel about it. All right, I have a strong feeling to share something, so I'm going to share this. Listen, the friend that I was talking about, I want to share something about what her freak out was about and what her trigger and what her resistance was about, okay? So the huge majority of opportunities, and right now we're looking at network marketing from this angle. It doesn't have to be network marketing. This is just such a great example because it embodies so many things for quote average people who want to get somewhere in life, okay? There's a few things that you absolutely have to feel totally confident about in order to be effective at sharing it. Now, you can lie and you can pretend that it's great, knowingly that you're lying and pretending that it's great. Or you can deceive yourself into believing that what you have is great. Either of those. No matter which one of those is true, you're lying. You're either lying only to them or you're lying to yourself and them. Now, what's interesting is everybody who wants to suffer will be drawn to follow, they'll be drawn to follow your lies. So there's still no victims. The thing is that that's not the game you want to play. Okay? So if you know that your company, and in this case, you're coaching, still we're talking network marketing, we're talking coaching. If you know that what you have to offer is absolutely phenomenal, the company, the follow through, the delivery is going to be excellent, and you're totally confident of that, is that going to affect your communication about it?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. If you know that the product that they're going to get is going to be phenomenal and awesome, will that affect how you communicate about it?
Definitely.
And if you know beyond the shadow of a doubt that it is a fit for them and will benefit them, is that going to affect how you communicate about it?
Yes, definitely.
Now, if any of those two are true and one isn't, will that affect how you communicate about it?
Sure.
If one of them is true and the other two ain't, will that affect how you communicate about it?
Even more.
Absolutely. If you know beyond the shadow of a doubt that all three of those are true, the company, the follow-up, the experience is going to be amazing, the product, the delivery, the benefits, all is amazing, and the fact that it is a perfect fit for them, but you're scared of pissing off dad by offering it, will that affect you?
Yes.
And it has been.
Yes.
Now, we can deceive ourselves magically on all three of those, on any of the three and on any combination of them. And when I talk to someone who doesn't want to really investigate to make sure that their company and their products are as phenomenal as they want to think they are, I know to shut up. Because they're in denial and they want to be in denial. I got nothing else to say. Love you. Namaste. Have a good time. I advocate highly that no matter what we're doing, no matter what we're offering, no matter what we're sharing, that we make sure that the company, the people we're affiliated with, genuine, rock solid, excellent, and are going to deliver what is promised. I make sure of that. I don't believe the other people who said it. I really check in. I really dig in and make sure so that I feel absolutely certain and convinced. Because when you're totally, absolutely, authentically convinced, you're going to be damn convincing. Yeah. I make sure that the product, whatever it is that's being offered, is absolutely awesome, and I make absolutely certain that it is a fit for them. But like, if you've been on any of my webinars where I'm making an offer, you're going to notice the way I do it is I say, are you interested in this? Are you interested in this? Would you be interested in this? Would you be interested in that? Now, if everybody says, yes, I'm interested in all those things, then I say, well, if there was a way to have that without these things you don't want, would you want to take action on it? Yeah. Well, then here's how. I mean, once I get that many yeses, it's kind of almost an obligation. It's almost like how do I fucking not share this? So if I'm not feeling able to do it, and if I'm not doing it effectively, all I got to do is take a quick look in the mirror and see why. I either don't know beyond the shadow of a doubt that the company's that amazing, that my offering is that amazing, that the product and the benefits are that authentic, or that it is a absolute win for them. I don't know one of those three, or there's a spell in me creating fear about sharing it. That's pretty damn simple, isn't it? All right. So Rosemary, once again, you're getting ready now. Pick the most recent upsetting experience where, you ain't growing the way you want to grow. You ain't moving the way you want to move. You ain't sharing at the rate you want to share, and you ain't profiting the way you really want to profit. And you done found out this is some good shit. I want it, and everybody else is doing it. And now you're in opportunity to share and bring up the feelings and see how you feel about sharing it.
I'm excited to share it.
Oh, she's excited to share it. Now there's a difference. How long has that hesitating, fearful feeling been there?
55 years, I'm pretty sure.
And for how many of those years has it been hindering you from the sharing, profiting, and expansion, loving freedom that you wanted?
All that time.
All that time. And it changed today.
Mm-hmm.
In about 12, 13 minutes. I'm not too good with time most of the time, whatever time is. Okay. So you probably would like to end this call and go share something, but we're not quite there.
Not yet.
All right. So if everybody will be kind enough to breathe while I respond to nature calling and the 1.5 gallons of liquids I've consumed so far today, everybody breathe deep. I'll be right back. my recommendation, suggestion, Rosemary, is going to be basically the minute that we end this call that you share with somebody that you've been wanting to.
Okay.
And make an invitation. None of your damn business whether they can afford it or not. That's limiting them and yourself with that consideration. The beauty is in all of our sharing. In all of our sharing, finding out what the other person wants and being honest about what we want. That's how simple it is. Check it out. Feel into it for yourself. Finding out what the other person wants and being honest about what you want. So the flip side of that is, the flip side of fear of telling them what it is and how much it is, and the flip side of that, very closely related, is the fear of sharing with them what's in it for us. And it gets disguised as, honey, would you like to have Thai food for dinner? And when I hear that question, I say, let me make a guess. You do? I'm a mind reader, in case you guys didn't know that. Oh, honey, you ready to go to bed? Let me make a wild guess. You are? I am a mind reader. How about this? Man, I'm like wanting some Thai food right now. How about you? Terrifying, isn't it? Oh my God. You know, I've got this thing to share, and it has the potential to create XYZ benefits for you and QRS benefits for me. Would you like to discuss it? No? Cool. Thanks for saving me time. We go into the damn conversation ignoring and avoiding what they want and what we want so that we don't have to deal with anything, and we never know why nothing ever gets fucking said. And at the end of it, the person the whole time is going, okay, what's in it for me and what's in it for you? While you ain't saying what's in it for them and what's in it for you, that's what they're wondering the whole time. What the fuck? Why is she not talking? And then they get suspicious, and then they get uncomfortable. Think about how you guys got into this Freedom 7 experience with me. Hey guys, I'm going to do another Freedom 7. I'm going to do this and this and this. Here's what's new. Here's what I'm going to focus on. Here's how much it is. Anybody want to play? Boy, that's high pressure right there. Do an event in Hawaii. Anybody want to come? Well, yeah. Oh, but I shouldn't say that because some might not be able to afford it right now. Bullshit. If I say it to the right person who is sitting in fucking poverty right now, they're going to quite possibly dig in and find out, you know what? I think that thing that I've been putting off, I think I'm going to do it. And maybe that'll be the thing that opens the door for the money. Maybe allowing someone to face their perceived inability to afford something will be what empowers and reminds them to wake up and look at it from a different perspective. Now, I'm not going to say, hey guys, I'm doing an event in Hawaii. Anybody interested? Nobody's hands go up. I'm not going to continue on the topic. Duh. if we don't do those two simple things, everybody, this is not about business. Please don't misunderstand. I hope is everybody checking in on how they can use this in any conversation and every conversation with anybody? Are you guys okay? Because if you are, this can be so fundamental for you. What do I want? What would I like to experience? What's available for me? What do you like? What do you want? What would you like to experience? What's available for you? If we don't do that, we get into so much complicated manipulation and avoidance and dodging and ducking and smurping around corners to try to not touch the things that are going to make Dad yell. When in all probability, he's either not in his body anymore or he's 500 fucking miles away. Okay. As we all know, and as I often point out, I got no hesitation to go way over on sessions. Today is one of the busiest days actually of my life. And I'm going to be going until at least 7 this evening, Hawaii time. So I'm going to wrap this up here in just a moment. And what I'd like to do is wrap a nice silky bow around this whole thing. There's a lot of meat in this short session. Okay, no offense to the vegans. There's a lot of chewy, green, crunchy fiber for the vegans in this session. Loaded with plant protein and chlorophyll for those who will take it in. Let's go to where I started, and then let's look at what just happened and really see the thread that went through it. So, infinite unlimited being projects out of eternity into time and space to have experience. Simplify everything down to its essence. Here, having experience, one notices if one's looking, I'm not the only fucker here. I'm going to just go take everything I want from everyone else. That shit don't work. You find out, most of us find out around age 4 or 5, that shit don't work. Now, we make some erroneous conclusions about it. Most of it crazy as hell. Still, we do learn, most of us, around that age. Through interaction with other kids, bigger than us, smaller than us, tougher than us, meaner than us, whatever. And then through mom and dad and brothers and sisters, through all those experiences, we find out. So then we begin to manipulate, and we learn and master the ways to manipulate that seem to work. Strangely, they don't always work, and then we start to get confused, and then we kind of start to shrink back toward the couch. Then we find, well, wait, if it's all about experiencing what I want to experience, I think I'd like to experience what I want to experience. And then we actually step out off the couch towards what we want to experience. And we come face to fucking face with everything we place between ourselves and that. And we say, where'd I put my couch? Oh, yeah, back to safety. What time's that show come on? Safety. And then, eventually, we go, yeah, but I want to do that thing. And it's been long enough that I forgot what happens when I do that thing, that I'm sure I know happens when I do that thing. So now I'm going to actually go again. Only this time, I have Brian in my life. This time I have someone who is consciously reminding me to stay focused on that infinite unlimited being, projecting out eternity into time and space to have experience thing, and that I can actually move through it. I begin to realize that all these emotions inside of me that they're not actually me. I know I'm probably very sexy looking when I do that. Right? I'm sure I am. I hope I didn't turn anyone on. So we find that if I go do that thing, I feel that feeling I don't like. Only this time we say, you know what? There's actually ways through it. This is actually me facing what it was for me to face so that I can move into more of what I want. Oh, everything has changed now. And I realize once again that my only tormentor all along was that part of me left over from yesterday. The one who's trying not to piss off daddy. The one who's trying not to get hit again. The one who's trying not to be shut in their room with the door locked when they're crying and sad and scared and really most needing the support of mommy and daddy. And we are blessed with the tools of how to move through that. The breath to keep us just continually moment to moment. What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? And Rosemary, I say that this with love, and there's your mind might at first sense a little bit of something that isn't there. This is not a rebuke or criticism or correction, nothing like that. I'm just saying this for everyone's benefit, including you and me. Had you continued the deep breathing every time that this thing came up, high probability that you would have navigated it and moved through it more rapidly. And I honor and accept and acknowledge that for almost all of us, almost all the time, when those feelings come up, what's our first fucking habit? To not breathe. So we're basically doing the impossible here, which gets increasingly more effortless each time we do it, because the body will actually start to go, you know what? Wait a minute. What happened the last 10 times I ran into an unpleasant feeling? Oh, that's right. The idiot driver, whoever they are, started breathing, and then we moved through it. Let me help this idiot driver who's forgetting for a moment to breathe, and we breathe and we move through it. Make sense? How you feeling, Rosemary? Anybody grateful Rosemary did that? Anybody finding any benefit in Rosemary stepping up with that? I propose to you that you will continue to find more and more from it. That just like Rosemary, on that call, I said that comment in passing, and almost everybody on the call went, especially her. She had the advantage of getting on the next call with me to go further into it. And just like she was already gaining more and more and more in the hour or so after I said it, you will continue, Rosemary. Over these next few days, the epiphanies, the insights, the remembrances, and the gains and the expansions are going to continue on this topic. This was like a hinge that so many other doors weren't able to open perceivably. I propose the same for everybody. If you will take the time to maybe write a note for yourself, everyone, and just say, what was I avoiding? What yell or what spanking or what frown was I avoiding? Okay, just leave that as a question that you don't try to answer. The answers will flow through to you, for you, from you, just from the invitation. I will post this replay as quickly as I can. This is a juicy one, you guys. I'm going to recommend that you watch it a couple of times. I can promise you there were a few things that, quote, escaped us that you'll catch on the replays. I love you. Perfect, unlimited beings. Namaste, everybody.